Welcome to today's Explainer, where we're going to explore the quiet, everyday signs of mobility loss and reveal a simple, zero-equipment way to rebuild your leg strength right from your living room. If you're over 70, you've probably noticed that standing up from the sofa isn't quite as effortless as it used to be. Well, today we're going to fix that.
Section 1. The myth about walking. We're constantly told the secret to aging well is simply to get your steps in, right? But what if you've been diligently walking every day and still feel your legs getting kind of heavy? Or maybe you notice yourself second-guessing a step up onto a curb? It is incredibly frustrating to do exactly what you're supposedly supposed to do, only to feel like you're somehow moving backward. Here's the real deal. While walking is fantastic for your heart, your circulation, and your mood, a 2021 McMaster University study hit the nail on the head. It proved that walking simply doesn't provide the physical resistance required to preserve the lower body power you actually need to stand up independently. You can literally walk every single day and still get weaker, because your muscles don't just respond to movement, they absolutely need resistance.
Section 2. Understanding age-related muscle loss.
To understand why this happens, we have to look under the hood for a second. First off, that feeling of weakness, it's not your fault, and it's not just getting older. It is actually a very specific, manageable condition called sarcopenia. Basically, as we age, our nervous system gets a bit lazy and starts activating fewer muscle fibers unless we deliberately force it to work.
To put that into perspective, according to the European Working Group on Sarcopenia, adults over 60 can lose up to 3 to 5% of their leg strength every single year if it isn't actively challenged. Just think about that compounding over a decade. By the time you reach your 70s, that accumulated weakness becomes highly noticeable.
And it sneaks up on you, doesn't it? You won't notice this loss dramatically at first. It quietly shows up as these small hesitations. Maybe you start reaching for a chair armrest just to steady yourself. It's those fast response balance muscles that weaken first. And once they do, your body naturally compensates by moving slower and far more cautiously.
Section 3. Lower leg chair exercises.
All right, the great news is we can absolutely reverse this decline starting right now. Coming in at number 5 is a gentle movement that completely transforms your proprioception. That's just a fancy word for your body's ability to intuitively sense where it is in space. When your proprioception fades, falls inevitably follow. So, sit tall, lift one foot just an inch off the floor, and draw a slow 3-second circle with your toes. Do 10 clockwise and then 10 counterclockwise. The secret here is going really slow and isolating the ankle. Don't swing your whole leg. By doing this, you're waking up 19 different muscles and tendons in your lower leg. It's like turning the power back on. And the data on this is just mind-blowing. The Journal of Foot and Ankle Research proved that this simple 10-minute daily habit leads to a massive 20% reduction in tripping incidents. Think about that. Just 10 minutes a day to dramatically protect yourself from a misstep.
Moving on to number 4, we have seated heel raises. This targets your calves, which doctors actually like to call the body's second heart, because they literally pump blood right back up to your chest. Plus, these muscles are your absolute first line of defense when you trip.
This one is all about control. Sit upright, take 2 seconds to lift your heels up high, pause, and then take 3 full seconds to lower them back down. You have to fight gravity on the way down. That slow 3-second lowering phase is exactly what actively rebuilds those fast response balance muscles.
Section 4. Upper leg chair exercises.
Now let's move up into the major stabilizing muscles. At number 3, we're targeting the inner thighs, or the adductors. Physical therapists constantly worry about this muscle group because it's absolutely critical for preventing dangerous sideways falls, but we almost entirely ignore it in our daily lives. Grab a folded towel, pop it between your knees, and squeeze them together firmly. Now, holding that contraction for a full 5 seconds is the real secret here. Clinical research shows this specific isometric hold produces 27% greater strength gains than just doing a quick squeeze. Oh, and make sure you breathe normally. Holding your breath can cause an unnecessary spike in blood pressure, and we definitely don't want that. Number 2 is the seated hip abduction press. This is an absolute powerhouse movement that builds the side-to-side pelvic stability that walking alone simply cannot give you. It targets your outer hips, specifically your gluteus medius. To understand why this is a total game changer, check out this staggering data from the Journal of the American Geriatric Society. It reveals that a whopping 73% of adults over 75 who suffered a fall had weakness in these exact hip muscles. When these muscles are weak, your pelvis tilts every single time you take a step, completely throwing off your balance. So sit straight, put your hands on the outsides of your knees, and press your knees outward against your hands for 4 seconds. You are literally providing your own resistance. It's a brilliant way to directly rebuild those exact gluteal muscles needed to keep you steady without ever leaving your chair.
Section 5. The ultimate leg exercise. Okay, we have finally arrived at the most overlooked, yet most neurologically powerful exercise in senior health. Coming in at number 1 is the seated leg press hold. It honestly doesn't even look like you're moving, but it flawlessly trains the exact split-second reaction your body uses to catch itself from a fall.
Sit upright, feet flat, and just press both feet firmly into the ground. Don't actually stand up, just push the floor away from you. Hold that push for 10 seconds while breathing normally. This creates incredible isometric strength, teaching your nervous system to instantly activate all your major leg muscle fibers safely without putting any twisting strain on your knee joints.
Section 6. Reclaiming your independence. So there you have it. You now have the 5 tools you need to stop leg strength decline right from your living room, no fancy gym required. Because ultimately, rebuilding your strength isn't about pushing your limits. It's about preserving your confidence to walk downstairs, get out of a chair smoothly, and live life completely on your own terms. It really only takes a few minutes a day to wake your nervous system back up. So, the ball is in your court. Which of these movements are you gonna try first? Pick just one to do during a commercial break today, and take that very first step toward reclaiming your resilient, confident mobility.